fun one. Long Beach State was in control through 2 sets, and then that third set was back and forth, really competitive. So shout out to Calgary, they played well, but Long Beach State looked really good.
That was fun. That third set was a little too close for comfort though, for both sides.
Heading up.
Really cool. Like, can you help me out? It was raining. So you know what questions that you're gonna ask?
No, but I'll figure it out. I have 2 stat sheets, the one from set 1 and the one from the last set. Because that set was very back and forth.
Cool.
So you guys have been here all day?
Yes.
Dang.
We're that dedicated.
I got here at
Just the. Then we need a box score up there.
How you doing? And you? I'm good. Alright.
Wait, really? Good evening and welcome to today's press conference following the matchup of Long Beach State versus Calgary. Here we have head coach MacRae.
Right on. Shout out to the LB Nation. Shout out to not only our fans, but to everyone that's come here today, day 1 of our North American Challenge. And it's the day after New Year's. We've had people volunteering. We had 4 matches today in the pyramid, and a lot of local community and donor support, and some people that have worked overtime and aren't even getting paid for it. And it's all in order to give an experience, an incredible one for our guys and to our university. So that's phase 1. And to go over a little bit of the reason why we do the North American Challenge, I mean, this is day 5 for our guys. So it's a big time jump start into our season. And when we bring down Calgary and Alberta, we have really good relationships with Brock from Alberta and their coaching staff, and then Graham from Calgary. Their teams are actually in the middle of their season. So when we bring them down right now on day 5, it's with the intention of they're gonna be polished and again help us jumpstart and have a lot of lessons learned as a staff and a team with where we want to go to week 2. So you saw 2 matches today, 2 different lineups, a lot of guys going through growth while also trying to flex our Long Beach brand. And even from the first match to the second match, our biggest theme was, hey, we don't have any time to train, but how can we respond and get better with a couple core areas? So proud of our guys, proud of a big day 1. We'll have a recovery day tomorrow, and then we'll be coming out with 2 more matches on Sunday. So for us, it's a big deal. For me, it's a big deal to go through all these first, and then it kind of helps tee up week 1 of bringing in Lindenwood and McKendree next weekend, and now we're off and running. So questions, thank you for all of you for being here the day after New Year's and for supporting us and asking questions. What we got?
Coach, this is closer to the lineup that we can expect come the regular season tonight.
Okay, just to kind of give you all of it. What you saw today, you saw with my intention, and this is lessons learned through 14 years of the lineup that starts on the first day. It's very rare that that's the same lineup that's going to finish the season. So for our whole staff and for our team, it was, can we widen the base today? Can we have, doesn't just have to be 6 or 7 guys that are walking away with, I'm the guy. Can we walk away and say, of course, can we have all 17 guys say, I'm a part of this, but with 2 different starting lineups? That's the answer with day 1, is everyone knows of, okay, I've gone through the lights early on, I've gone through some adversity, or I succeeded. Either one is A-okay, but we don't have to wait 3 weeks from now to give a guy his first opportunity, one to start or to coming off the bench. So you saw 13 or 14 guys today, and then we have 2 more matches on Sunday. So by the time we walk away on Sunday, all 17 guys will have walked through like, okay, this is a dry run in the field. If we can't do it now, we won't be able to do it. But tonight, obviously, you saw some core pieces that you saw. This isn't the first time you've seen them. So, yeah, I'll let you write about that.
What have you liked about Jake Pizzanti so far? I'm obviously assuming that he's kind of the one stepping into those shoes as a setter. Or if that, first of all, is that the case? And what have you liked about him? And what would you like to see him as far as growth goes?
From our, let's talk just job description for a Long Beach State setter. Is you're coming in, you're running an offense, and this is the easy 3, but there's so much more detail. Balance, stress, and flexibility. Everybody in the whole country and whole world wants to run an offense that's balanced. If you got like 6 different rotations, okay, what's the balance? Am I 60% middle of the court? Am I 15-15, yada yada? And then with stress, what we wanted to see with Jake tonight is can we vary our routes, so spice it up a little bit. When we are in rhythm with good or perfect pass situation, Jake, can you create some stress by varying our routes while also knowing, we kind of laugh, there's going to be every single match or set, there's going to be the weird of the setter's going to have to be on the run, or he's just going to have to be in high ball mode, which is not enjoyable for the setter. So we say, hey dude, for this portion of the match, you got to take off your volleyball shoes and you got to put on your running shoes and kind of lean into that. So that's, Jake did an excellent job with that tonight. So shout out, our offense hit 431. We're striving to have a benchmark. We want to hit 400 and above, and where that comes from, and now if we're hitting 431, it's great. We want to walk away hitting 450. We're constantly going to be not having a ceiling on us and pushing for more, and knowing with the past 9 years, we've been at 8 of the last 9 Final Fours. When we're hitting that 400 or nearing that 400 offensive efficiency, we're in those final matches. So that's where that benchmark. Island can do the same thing, and Ryan Peluso can do the same.
Me, I'd like to ask about kind of your pin hitters and what you'd like from them, specifically Skylar Varga. How have you seen his growth from his time in the VNL with Canada, and what's kind of the sky for him, I guess?
Skylar has no sky. He's a future Olympian. He's the captain of our team. He's one of the world's greatest off the court, and as you've seen, he's one of the world's greatest on the court. And it won't be me, it won't be even the other coaches. Like, it's Skylar makes everybody around him better is the point. So am I giving Skylar a strategy, or is Skylar just making myself and our program look really good? And that is the case. So yeah, he's a top 10%er in our program. He's a top 1%er, and he's just going to keep flourishing because he has the work ethic and mindset to put in.
Coach, you mentioned a lot of firsts today. First, congrats to you for your first game as a head coach. You're not brand new to the bench, 14th year on the bench, and you've been getting ready for this role through mentoring by Coach Knight for a while now. Was there anything that surprised you or stood out to you in your first game actually on the bench in that role, or was it all kind of what you've been expecting and preparing for?
I had a whole checklist, and this comes from our staff as well, making sure from match 1 to match 2, when times are good, how can we ensure that we're still staying and not getting quiet? Like, the point being, times are good or times are bad, as a staff, we're going to keep communicating. And then making sure lessons learned from all sorts of greats that I've worked for, and lessons learned through 14 years here is, okay, if adversity hits or we bleed a few points, immediately we got to call the timeout and reset, or we're not going to be afraid to make a change and bring in a couple upgrades. And for the first match, I think one of the biggest highlights, and this is from a first standpoint, you either start for the first time at Long Beach State, which is very rare for freshmen to come in and start, or your first time is going to be coming in off the bench. So the shout out was actually to Miles Jordan in the first match today. Miles, we were down 9-3 in set 3, and then another first was Jackson Christ, he's going through, he actually started, but it's his first time. Jackson then brings us back. It's 9-9, and we go from down 6 points to winning a set by 7 points, and that was because of Miles being an upgrade and Jackson Chris going through another first and teeing us up for success.
Setting committee, you already talked a little bit
That's
about
right.
what you saw from those guys today. Moving into this preseason area of the year, are you expecting one of those guys to step up and win the job, or are you moving through the start of the season expecting it to be a setter by committee?
As it moves forward, what you walk away with today is with the starting lineup tonight. You saw Jake Pizzoni had that role, and then earlier as well, so Jake being a redshirt freshman going through it, and then it was ensuring that Island Doty, who he's a senior, he's been an incredible support system for 8 and 9 years ago. So Island's been to a finals, a Final Four, a finals, and he's won a championship. So he and Jake are both getting the opportunity to run their offense. You give us 2 more matches on Sunday, they'll both get another shot at it, and then you'll enter in Ryan Peluso, and at some point, it'll be yes, we're gonna go in this direction, but I'll keep leaning on the base is wide right now, and that's what we want of when we're in full position of power and control of hosting an event like this. That's what we wanna make sure we want. We're doing 2 matches a day to be able to work these different strategies, give guys different roles, and as a coach is to ensure, and this is a lesson learned as a new head coach, to ensure that I'm not just reacting because my ego says, oh my gosh, I have to win every point and I have to win every set. So we even got through that first earlier today. Doesn't mean I like losing a set, but we lost that first, it was set 2, but the first loss of a set, that has already occurred. So making sure my point being, I don't need to lose points, I don't need to lose sets, I definitely don't need to lose matches. And this program leans on we can learn as much from a win as we can from a loss. So we'll keep learning and pushing for more there.
I wanted to ask about was Wojciech Glejek had 16 kills in the first game as a true freshman, and then came in late in that third set when things were back and forth, and really played well in that second game. What did you see from him, and what are you expecting from him in his freshman year?
He's coming in here, I mean, he's a professional in his craft, and it's super exciting, and this is every guy that comes here. They've got the giant and world's biggest goals, and they want to represent their country. They want to go all into volleyball. They want to be future professionals and future Olympians, and he's on that trajectory as well. So what you saw from Woj earlier, he got to get the start and be the guy, and he was the leading point scorer. And what you saw tonight was he got the opportunity to come in off the bench. And tonight he came in for Daniil, so now I'm going to pivot and talk about Daniil. Daniil was out for nearly a month from volleyball and from all sorts of lifting and everything like that. So Daniil played in both matches tonight, which is a lot to ask, but same thing of, okay, we're going to see how long and how hard you can play, and then if it gets to a moment where the change in speed isn't there, we can keep giving upgrades. So what I see is it's the world's greatest 2-headed dragon right now as far as Daniil and Woj, and they're both an incredible 1-2 punch, and they're amazing.
Hey Coach, Sergio Morales with 22 West Media. I'd like to talk about the sets that have occurred throughout tonight's game. The first 2 sets were obviously smooth sailing.
Mm-hmm.
That third set, however, was very neck and neck. And so I wanted to ask, was there some kind of a message, or what helped you ultimately be able to sweep the match when it looked very much like we were in for some extended volleyball?
I don't think it was anything. I appreciate your question. I don't think it comes to myself or to our staff with the messaging. One of our pillars that we're leaning on is strictly having our Long Beach championship mindset. So what that means to us is when the score is 0-0, if we're up by 5, if we're up by 10, or if we're down by a few, over time we're trying to play the game one way, and we don't need to look up at the scoreboard to kind of get determined or to gain any sense of motivation. So when we were kind of ahead quite a bit in the first 2 sets, that was the conversation we were having. No need to look at the score. Let's keep the foot on the pedal and keep pushing forward. And then the same thing, okay, when we got in the third set, a shout out to Calgary because they were executing at a much higher level. And then for us, there was no stress. If we were down a couple, naturally the guys, without any of the coaches saying anything, knew that they could take it to another step, and we just weren't executing. But I'm proud of being down a couple, even to your point, of the guys staying mature. We sought it out, we got to stop, and then we finished, and we didn't get rattled through that process. So you got to see both. The first 2 sets, foot on the pedal, didn't matter if we were up, and then we got a little bit of a feel of, okay, who are we gonna be when we are down a few, and I'm proud with how our guys executed and got out of it.
A lot of double and triple blocks throughout this evening, particularly thanks to Skylar Varga, Danilo
Sure.
Sinovich, and Jake Pizzanti, just to name a few. So I want to assume that the chemistry between your players right now is very spot on right now.
If you were to watch the first match, and again, in between the first match and this evening match, we had no time to train. We had plenty of opportunities to get a lot of triple blocks. We were just in the net, or our timing and cadence wasn't together. So we watched a little bit of film. Again, we had no time to train, but that was one of our focuses. From a high ball blocking standpoint in this evening match, when we watch film tomorrow, it wasn't about the outcome of the blocks, which obviously we did get a good outcome of blocks, but the growth mindset was, okay, can our movement be together when we watch on film? Can we get under the elastic and get a lot of touches? And to your point, we executed that game plan. So it was